March is MS. Can I say the word?
Sclerosis.
Yes. Awareness Month. Lisa, why don't you talk about this?
This one is very dear to my heart. It is the whole month, but is specifically this week is what you celebrate. It's not something to celebrate. Actually, it is. I have my shirt on. I do the MS walk every day. I was diagnosed with MS in 2013. It's an autoimmune disease. I didn't know anything about it. I thought I was having a stroke. And it's something that people don't talk about, and is very, very much, there's over 2.8 million people that have this. It's considered the lucky of the autoimmune disease, the nervous system diseases. And when I went into the hospital and they're like, oh gosh, you got MS, that's okay. I'm like, to me, I didn't even know what that was. And that's why I brought this article up, because it is Awareness Month. I think the more people are educated about it. When I was diagnosed, I was scared to death I was going to be picking out a wheelchair. I didn't know anything about it. And the more you educate yourself and the more you can teach others about it and the more we can bring awareness to it, it's not that at all.
I can teach you how to ride a wheelie in a wheelchair. See, I'm very, very good at it. In fact, I used to be so good at riding a wheelie in a wheelchair, I could literally do it downstairs.
I love it. I love it.
So I'll help you out.
And that's the thing. But that's the stereotype. I was picking out wheelchairs right away. I'm like, that's it. Well, that was a good run. And that's not the case at all. So many people don't even end up in a wheelchair. So many people don't, it's like a snowflake. There are no two MS patients that are the same. There are factors that you can do. There's no cure for it. There are medications. I personally am doing it naturally. There's oral, there's shots you can take every day. There's steroids. There's blood transfusions that you can take your blood, remix it, and that works for some people. I have the relapsing remission kind, which is very common. There are other ones that people pass away within 4 to 5 months of being diagnosed. Wow. That's what I mean. Educating yourself is huge. Yeah. Some of the very common symptoms are numbness. Many eye doctors, when you go for an eye exam, that's where MS is diagnosed. I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, I had symptoms. I was diagnosed December 6th, and I had symptoms the whole summer long that when I look back, hindsight's 2020. And like, oh my God, I got a pinched nerve and I got to go to the chiropractor. My arm is numb. Yeah, we adjusted. Or we went to the movie theater and it's like, that out of focus to you? Does that look funny to you? And came back. I was like, okay, getting older. So there are many symptoms that led up to that. And most of the time an eye doctor doesn't diagnose you. But like I said, I got to the point that my entire right side of my body was numb. And that's why I ended up going to the hospital. And they generally, either the eye doctor or MRIs will tell you. Or another common sign is when you look down. If you've ever grown up on a farm or ever had like an electrical shock, the best thing is when you go to Chuck E. Cheese and you hold on to little monkey things and it gives you a little electric thing. That's what's happening on your spine. If you look at it like old school when you have a telephone cord or electrical wire, and
we have an electric fence out back, so afterwards we'll go test it.
Right. Yes, that is what an MS attack is. So, but the myelin sheath runs from our, on our spinal cord, and that gets frayed, and there's no curing that. So you got to consider, once it's gone, you can't, like I said, old school telephone cord or electrical wire, once that's frayed, the only thing that they're proving is it's interesting. Vitamin D is a huge thing too. So our friends up to Canada, there's many more cases of MS because they're not getting that, which is interesting. But in the same sense, Alaska, they have very few cases because they eat so much fish. So omega, again, there's no scientifics. I work with Matt Keegan. I work with other neurologists at Mayo. I don't do the treatment, so I go ahead and have regular MRIs every 2 years just to make sure the lesions are not getting any worse. But in Alaska, they eat so much fish. So there's so much omega oils in there. So the oil helps coat that. It's never going to get that replaced, but it helps coating it and smoothing it. Yeah, just very interesting. Yeah, that's why I said just educating yourself. Last year, because of COVID, we were not able to do the MS walk. Rochester has one. Every community has one. But this year, it is going to happen. So it's May 1st down at Soldiers Field. Otherwise, the same one's going on in Faribault, I believe, the same day. So there's lots of ways to get educated. And it's not as scary as you'd think it is. I didn't know how to pronounce it. When the doctor told me a multiple,
Sclerosis.
what? What do you got?
Yeah.
What?
MS.
So
I can't
MS.
say it normally. I don't know
Yeah.
why I couldn't earlier,
But
Is this genetic for you? Is this running
no,
in your family?
Not at all. Not at all. And there's no scientific. It's like 3%.
Wow.
3 to 5%. There are common. Definitely more women get it than men. And more, an average 20-year-olds to 40-year-olds is when you're going to be diagnosed. Definitely white is more predominant than any other race.
How about your children? I mean, I would imagine as
So
a mother,
little.
you were probably, did you think of that? Like, not
I
only for
did.
yourself, you're like, oh, my kids, you know?
I did.
Yeah.
Yep. But I think a positive attitude goes a long ways.
Nice.
And,
Yeah.
and
Always.
again,
Absolutely.
educating yourself on what it was. I was convinced I was picking out a wheelchair. That is, every case, just like a snowflake, everyone is different. And that's why it was important to me, because it is Awareness a Month. And if you could learn one thing of it, it's not contagious. It's not, I can function and you would never know I even had it.
Well, what's a bad day for you? I'm curious. What would be a bad day with having multiple sclerosis?
For me personally, the right side of my body goes numb. It starts with my arm and then it spreads down to my leg. Very common. You'll always see T-shirts or jokes or MS. It's like, oh, is she drunk? No, she has MS. It's very common to lose your balance. So that's what like Rebiff and some of these other drugs, they help you get that balance back. But an average episode, you call it an attack, an episode is different for everyone. Mine's probably about 4 or 5 weeks. And that's the problem,
It
though.
lasts that long?
So when your body is here and you consider you have a flare-up, then it gets a little worse, and it never comes all the way back down.
Is that like once or twice a year? How often would you say? Just curiosity.
Everyone is different. I know what triggers me,
Yeah.
and I'm very aware and in tune with my body when
Super
it comes to
interesting.
that. It is
That
intriguing.
is very interesting. I didn't even realize there were triggers for
Definitely
that.
hot tub. Anything with the heat on your spine will
interesting.
Yep. So they don't want you spending a lot of time in the sun or tanning or hot tubs. Keeping that frayed cord, spinal cord.
Wow.
Cool.
Protected.
Yeah. So
I like how in the article they had how managing depression and anxiety in this. That was really cool. The other thing was another webinar that John Hopkins Hospital has in the involvement in that. My grandfather stole my dad from one hospital and brought him to John Hopkins so he would live. And so John Hopkins is like an amazing research hospital. So I love what they're doing with all these different things. So this article was pretty cool for me too to see that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Lisa. That's
Yeah.
very meaningful.
Anybody
So-
else on?
anybody wants to join my team on May 1st, let me know. We'll go walking. So
So we could be the MS Misfits.
There you go. I like it.
Ooh, we could. We could.
Oh, and by the way, if I can put a plug in for the studio, is that cool?
Yeah.
So I own Salt and Pepper Photography, and if you do purchase a gift card for the month of March, I am donating 50% of that gift card towards MS.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
love that.
It's very special. It's very dear to me.
Nice.
I think education is key to anything, but this one is really dear to my heart.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really
When is
good.
that walk
Thank you.
again, Lisa? Tell us.
May 1st.
In
Soldier's
Rochester.
Field. Yep.
Okay, very
Okay.
nice. Okay. Do it. Let's do it.
So hey, viewers and listeners, let's support Lisa Lingo. We'll get people out there.
Yeah, we'll keep talking about this. Definitely as it gets closer and make sure we get something going and up. So that's a Saturday. It looks like.
We can do the MS walk any day and show our support.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, let's do something. Let's
Very
figure it
nice.
out.
Hey, a lot of people have asked how they can support the work we're doing here at Matt Logan Speaks. Well, you see this hammer that I got in my hand? It's pretty big. All you have to do is hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bell so that when we have new content up, you're the first to know about it. We really appreciate the comments, shares, likes, because you know what? That's the best way you can support us, because the algorithms on all these fancy computers, that's what they need. We appreciate it.